What's up, my fellow parents? Hey, for some of you, you've been waiting for an episode like this for a long time. For some of you, today's topic, it hits home. It not only hits home, it hits your minivan. It hits your Target aisle. It hits hard. For some of you, this is such a painful issue in your life, in your home. And Jordan, we're going to talk about something that no parent likes and every parent hates: the public meltdowns, the times when your kids are acting like bozos and it's in public and it's so embarrassing and it sucks.
Yeah. I mean, what is that too? We try everything in our power to keep it cool. Yo, just keep it cool. Don't go above and beyond. Don't cause a scene. And to these kids, they don't care. It's like there is no outside world. It's like there's only one world, and it's what they can see in that moment right in front of them, and there's no concept of it's like we've got the planet, we've got the moon, we've got the sun, we've got the stars. There's things going on outside the planet, but to us, it's all happening right here within this globe. We can't even comprehend that there's stuff going on outside in the outer space, and there's a lot going on. And these kids, it's like the same thing, man. It's like maybe after a couple of tantrums, we could finally get them to realize that was so embarrassing, and you made me do this because I was so mad.
I know. Of the list of all the things that make parenting so horrible and sucky and painful and stressful and embarrassing, having your kids melt down in public or act out in public, it's got to be on the top 5.
Oh, 100%. Especially if it's you're meeting someone important and you're like, okay, guys, I expect you to keep your cool. And then they don't, and you just feel terrible as a parent. You're like, they're judging me. This is not how I normally parent my kids.
I have a little list for you. I came up with, I sat here in my home office preparing for this podcast, and I came up with a list of 9 things that every parent hates. Oh my gosh, we hate them. I just came up with these out of my imagination. Jordan's never seen any of the notes from today's episode. So Jordan, I'm going to read them to you.
All right.
And I want you to tell us, what is your top 1 or 2 or 3? You can list them if you want. And if you're listening to this at home, then you make a list. Out of all these 9 things, which ones do you hate the most? Are you ready? Here it comes.
Ready.
Okay. All right. The first option is we're going to call it the Target tantrum.
Oh, yeah.
We've
all been there.
The meltdown in the Target aisle, the toy aisle. I want this. Please make me. I don't want to do this. Right? Okay?
Yeah.
How about this one? The siblings are fighting in the car.
Oh, that happens. It's an everyday occurrence in my household.
With some families,
Guys,
they hit it.
Be cool. Stop talking. Just stop talking. Stop talking right now. Stop it. But she, stop talking. Sometimes this is terrible. I'll see a headline of a family that has gotten in some crazy accident, and I'm like, how many kids were in the car? Was the driver distracted? Because we know if there's 4 kids in the back, it was all chaos back there.
Dude, which parent has not? Every parent has ever said this. If you have a third seat in the back, have you ever said this? Of course you have. Hey, if this doesn't stop, you're sitting in the back. You're sitting in the back.
Yeah, I wish it was, you're going in the trunk. Yeah.
They're going to the, all right, how about this one? Your kid snaps at you in public, snaps back, talks back.
Ooh, disrespects.
Right. Hey, here's one. No parent likes it. It's summertime. Your kid's in the pool at the birthday party. And you go to pick your kid up from the birthday pool party. And you say,
I don't want to go.
Hey, kid, get out of the pool.
Yeah. All right, it's time to go.
And then you're
no, I don't want to go. No.
Yeah, ask him a second time. All right, come on. It's time to go because everyone's watching you. It's a party. And they're no. And they're ignoring you. And then third time, you're like, hey, little guy, we got to go. And you look like they're a doofus. You look like that.
Right.
You look like you're the worst parent ever. Your kid's just disrespecting you. Yeah,
or they run from you and jump in the water because they know you've got your clothes on. You're not going in after them, right? They're like, you can't catch me. They just stay in the middle, and you're like, get you out of here right now.
Dude, I've seen that happen at my house. I cannot tell you how many times I've seen that. And I'm looking at the parents. I'm like, dude, I feel you, dog. All right. Ready? Here's, how about this one? Just being rude in front of another adult that you respect. Maybe it's a friend. Just straight up in your face.
Yeah.
How about this?
Like-
this next option?
Like just being rude to me, or maybe rude to their siblings, or just rude. Oh, how about being rude to that guest?
oh, geez.
That's a no-no.
That's
You
so
being rude
bad.
to me
That's
is
not
one
even-
thing. You being
Right.
rude to the guest, that's a different level.
That is that's not even for today's podcast. That's for like that's a different that's a different level, dude.
Yeah.
All right,
yeah.
this one. Okay, we're at option number 6. For some people, this is a big deal. Being rude to the parent in front of the grandparents.
Okay. Yeah.
So for you, your
they're
mom
being-
is and dad,
and
they're
then-
such
and then
lovely
you're-
people. But
And then
for
your mom
some
and dad
people-
are like, "See, this is why you ought to get that belt, son. This is why I told you. You ought to get swap them." Yeah.
Right. It makes it worse because now your parents, the parents' parents, the grandparents, they're acting weird. They say something weird. Okay,
They're
this
telling
one,
you
how
how
about
you're
this one?
parenting wrong.
How about this one? If you've got a child ages 8 through 15, you might really hate this one. Your child in public says to you, bruh, hey, bro, hey, whatever, bro, hey, 6'7", bro. How about that?
Okay, all right. It depends what mood I'm in, but okay, that just
It does.
depends what mood I'm in.
Dude, my father-in-law,
It
Jeff.
happens all the time.
My father-in-law, Jeff, he has a saying. Him and I, we don't like it when people out in public, like people we don't know, and they call us bro. I don't like it. I like it when you call me bro a lot.
Because I know you.
And I like it when my friends do, but he has a little saying. It goes like this. Don't bro me if you don't know me.
Oh my gosh, that is so hilarious. You know, now that I think about it, anytime someone's called me bro and I don't know them, it's almost like we're going to fight or I'm really mad at you. You know what I'm saying? You're right. There isn't like good morning, brother. Good morning, bro. How are
Right,
you? You know, there's
right.
never like I hope you're having a great day. It's like, yo, don't cut me off, bro. Yo, don't say that to me, bro. What'd you just say to my wife, bro? You know, yeah.
Okay, I got two more bad ones for you to pick from. Okay, are you picking your top 2? Are you still
Yeah,
with me?
I'm
Okay,
listening. Yeah.
okay, this one's pretty bad. In public, maybe it's on the soccer field. Maybe it's at a party. Your 2 siblings are not fighting in the car. They're fighting in public, slapping each other, hitting each other,
physical.
saying horrible things to each other. They're making a scene. How bad is that one?
That's even worse than a lot of these. In public, physical fighting,
Yeah.
being loud, causing a scene in front of everybody else. And you're there and other people are looking at you like, are you going to step in? Are you going to step in? Like, what's going on here?
That's bad.
That's bad. I put that on the top of the list. Keep going.
I got another really bad one. If you know, you know. This one's really bad. Here you are. You just spent a lot of money on a
this is
nice
gonna be good.
vacation.
I can already tell this is going to be good.
$1,000, $10,000. You're
Yeah.
on a nice vacation in an
Yeah.
Airbnb. You're on a
Yeah.
resort. And guess what's happening? Your kids are
complaining.
having a meltdown and they're whining and they're complaining about how much
Yeah.
they ate the trip.
That's my number one right now. Do you
Is
realize
it?
what it took? Do you realize what it took to go on this trip? We could have stayed at home and done nothing. But you're complaining at X, Y, or Z, and we're in this beautiful place. I'm not going to take us anywhere ever again. You're making my life easier for the future, bruh. You're going to call me bruh? I'll call you bruh.
This is your last vacation of your life, kid. You're
Seriously.
done. You're out, dude. That is actually a thing. It's actually kind of sad.
Or how about this? How about this? Here's the next level. Hey, guys, we're going on a vacation. We're going to, let's just say, we're going to visit Sean and Danielle in California. Oh, cool. That'll be so cool. We're going to California. How are we getting there? Oh, we're going to fly. Oh, what airline are we flying?
What?
Southwest. Oh, Southwest.
my
There's not
gosh.
even TVs on Southwest. How am I supposed to stay entertained on the flight?
Oh my! First of all, that does sound like me talking to my wife about Southwest. By the way, true.
No diss to Southwest because I've flown it forever and I love Southwest. But I'm just
Okay.
giving an example. Like they want a certain airline that has the screens that entertain them.
Wow,
Blah, blah,
dude,
blah.
kids. Okay, so do you have your list out of those 9? Which one or two do you despise the most?
All right, vacation complaining is going to be number 1.
I've
never.
Is it?
Oh, dude. Because we do a lot of trips, a lot of weekend getaways, and we have high expectations of our kids. You know, a lot of our trips go in to visit like extended family that, you know, you kind of have to do. It's the obligatory visit, but we still have fun. And if there's any fighting during that trip or complaining, it's a big deal for me.
Okay.
I've never encountered the in-public physical fight, right? Like at the soccer field like you were talking about.
Right.
But that's got to be bad. That should not be happening.
That's bad.
No matter what. If that's happening in public, I don't
Yeah.
know what's happening in private.
You need professional help. You need to call me if that's happening. There's some of these that's like, yeah, this is not okay. This should not happen. Maybe once, that's it ever. So that's your. I think. For
What
me,
about yours? What's you? What are your?
I'm kind of surprised by my number 1 because there's something about me when the kids are fighting in the car, man. That just gets me going.
Under your skin.
I'll tell you some when we go to some of the action steps for like part of the podcast where we start giving tools. I'll tell you about a way that I solve that problem because thankfully there's actually ways you can solve these problems. But yeah,
I'll tell you how I solve it right now. I roll down all the windows. I blast the music for as loud as it can get, and I drown them out. But I would also say, can I add too? Because I say vacation complaining is my number 1, but I think being rude in front of guests is ultimately a slap in your family's face. More than a vacation. Vacation complaining can be more personal and private because it's just us talking about it. But if it's in front of someone else, I think I get more of a level of disrespect there because you're not only disrespecting the guest, you're disrespecting me, and you know you're disrespecting the family name. You're disrespecting everybody.
Yeah, man. Yeah, well said. So I was having such a fun time preparing to give you this little survey. I went on ChatGPT and I asked it a question. I said, give me 10 public places where kids act out, and it's very embarrassing for parents. And
restaurants.
You know what? Let's see. 5 of the things that it mentioned were already on my list.
Oh, they were.
5,
okay.
And 5 were not. And did you just say restaurants?
I did.
Yes, number 1.
Yeah.
One of the things that they mentioned was restaurants. Chat says a slow waiter, a dropped fork, the wrong color straw can turn into chaos, especially when nearby diners are trying to enjoy a quiet night out.
Yeah.
All right.
You see why I don't like going to the restaurant anymore? I hate going to restaurants. Especially, like, imagine if you're at a booth and you have your little kid climbing over the booth saying hi to the people in the booth behind you while they're eating. So, it's like, dude, get back to your seat.
I don't know. I like kids, so I've always thought that was kind of cute. It doesn't bother me when kids are like, they're really infatuated with our family. But all right, here's something that chat came up with. Church or religious services. Whispering isn't your child's skill set. They're fidgeting. They're making noises at the sermon. They're all over the place. Like that. That's tough.
That's interesting. I wouldn't have put that as the top, but I guess it makes sense. Whenever you're bored, right? Whenever you can't focus, whenever you're thinking about something else, you're always like in that like how much longer, and it could cause a problem. Excuse me.
Airplanes. Your kids acting out. But usually it's like little babies or toddlers that are acting out. It's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. What I did when we first had our twins is we literally brought candy to every person that was sitting next to us, to our little infants, and said, hey, we just had these babies. We're so sorry. Here's some candy just to let you know, like, we're trying and we don't want them to cry.
Is so nice.
So they knew, like, because no one feels worse than a crying, like, when there's a crying baby on the plane than that parent. That parent feels so awful for everybody.
Yeah, well said. Yeah, oh my gosh, I think I told you the podcast like a year ago. My skin was crawling. This mother, her toddler was acting out, and I wish she listened to our podcast, but the type of things she was saying to this kid, it was so inappropriate and disturbing and shaming the child. It's like a little toddler. Okay, let's move on. 2 more things that chat came up with is your kid acts out at the school drop-off or pickup line. They're yelling at you. They're clinging to you. They're making a big scene.
Or they forgot their homework and they're crying, and you want to teach them how to have personal responsibility. So you just told them, I'm not going to pick up your homework. I'm sorry. You're going to have to deal with the consequences. And they're like, you hate me. And then the teacher's like, oh my gosh, what's happening? Do I need to call CPS? Meltdown City.
All right. So here's actually something happened to me about 3 days ago. Something in public that an issue I had with children that I had to help with. And I think I handled it very well. And so the story happened, and then we came home, and we had some couples over on Sunday. And I just casually told them, yeah, we had an issue with your son. We'll call him Eddie. And they're like, oh, what happened? And I was like, oh, it's all good. We handled it well. He did good. And then my wife, Danielle, she's like, no, Sean, I really want to know what happened. So I ended up I proceeded to tell the story about what happened to me and these kids at Target. And then I thought to myself, you know what? Maybe I should tell that story on a podcast because I think that could be helpful. So may I have permission to tell a story?
Yeah, paint the picture here. So it's you and it's with your buddy's kid. Your buddy's not even there. It's just you and them.
No. So it's me and a 9-year-old boy and an 8-year-old girl.
Right.
Because what happened was we're very close with this family. So I asked the little girl, the 8-year-old girl, would you like us to buy you for your birthday? It's her birthday. Would you like us to buy you a birthday present and wrap it and surprise you with it? Or would you like to do what we did last year? And I'll take you to Target and you can pick out any present you want. And she said that one.
That's sweet. Okay, so, that's really sweet.
So if you do have other kids in your life, by the way, nieces, nephews, you're close with your friends' kids, that's a great, I love doing this. My aunt did it for me when I was a little kid. It's such a jam. Just you imagine
I've
being
never
a
thought
kid,
about that.
and you get to go and pick out anything. And then my budget was $30, but I told her, try to find something around $25 worth. That way, when she picked something that was $29.99, she felt even better. You know what I mean?
No, that's cool. And you get a day with that person. So you get to have fun with them, right? Instead of just like, here's the gift, see you later. I love it.
Well, things were going good because I met the mom. Her name is Jess. I met the mom at Target. And so I took her kids from her so she could go shopping and kind of have some free time. And we went over the toy aisle. And then the little daughter, we'll call her Ingrid, she picked out a beautiful little American Girl doll for $29.99. And we walked to the checkout. I start walking into the regular checkout, and my daughter Kenzie was like, no, Dad, let's do self-checkout, because I know she loves self-checkout. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm normally a cool parent like that. We'll go to self-checkout, even though it's super annoying and it takes forever, whatever. So we're going over there, and to get the personality traits. Okay, so we got my daughter, 9-year-old Kenzie. She's very much a strong personality, strong leader. And then we have the other two kids who are not my kids. We'll call them Eddie and Ingrid. And Eddie is a normal, typical boy, right? Sometimes he's very impulsive. And then his sweet little sister, we'll call her Ingrid, she's very quiet and she's very meek and she's a sweetie pie. So then
how old are the other two?
They're not just got 9 and 8.
9 and 8, perfect.
Right. So then we go over, and of course, classic Kenzie, she speaks up real loud and controls the environment, and she says, okay, all right, Eddie, we're all going to be able to, we have 3 things, so everybody gets to scan 1 thing. All right, this is like,
great.
that's
it's
what
fair.
she said.
That's fair.
It's fair.
Great.
That's just,
love it.
But I think she knows Eddie, and she knows his temperament, and she likes to be in control, and she's a very strong leader. So what did this boy do? Well, he goes right up to the beeper, and he takes the beeper, and he scans his sister's doll.
Classic boy.
And then
Classic boy. Okay.
And then what does Kenzie say? Well, in a pretty nice tone, she says, no, Easton, let us all scan our own things. And then what does he do? Totally ignores her, and he scans the next thing. And then what does Kenzie do? She says, no, Easton, let us all scan something. What does he do? Totally ignores her, scans all 3 items. And now I'm standing there in public, and am I upset? No. Am I disturbed? No. Am I disappointed? Yeah. Am I feeling like I should do something and say something here? Yeah. And I'm very close with this family and these kids. It's almost like an Uncle Sean situation.
Sure.
So should I tell you what I did?
Yeah, I was going to say, did you? Yeah, because I would have thought about, I think everybody's thinking about what they would have done in this situation.
Yeah, what would you
So
have
what I would have done.
What would some parents do? I'll tell you what I did, and you can choose if you like it or not. What'd you do?
I have a feeling the kids would have probably, no fair. I would have probably maybe turned red a little bit and snapped, like, guys, it's a freaking scanner. Who cares? Let's move on. And I would have been mad. Okay, that's option one. And
I think that's a totally great, realistic option. You're trying to minimize the child's feelings. Let's over-psychologize this.
Okay.
You're trying to minimize the child's feelings.
Yeah.
And just ignore, like, their
Like, it's
desire.
no big deal.
It's no big deal.
freaking
And try to
scanner.
move on, right?
Move on. Like,
All right,
yeah,
so that's
option one.
That is such a great. I love that you're doing this. By the way, what else would a normal parent do? A normal, lovely parent do?
Option two, I would have been like, okay, Easton, or whoever this kid is, you just scanned all three, so let's step aside. And then kid number two, your turn. Scan all three.
But they've already been scanned.
That's okay.
but-
Kid number three, scan all three. Good job. Attendant, can you come over here? We scanned 6, and I would just have them remove all the scans and just done the 3. Just so everyone had their fair share.
Most people aren't that smart.
I know, but I would have probably,
Really?
those are the two. The option one is probably my go-to because I'd have been just so flustered. But option two is another method because my son, Kinlan, does the same thing. He loves scanning. Beep, he loves, and he'll scan someone in the eyes. He'll try to scan you in the eyes. I'm like, dude, you gotta calm down. So I get it. It's fun.
Come up with a third option, though, because, all right, option two, that's not really feasible. But no one's going to think of that. Only geniuses.
Okay, so then option 3 is
everyone's pissed
scold.
off.
You could scold Easton right then and there.
Of
right?
course, that's an option.
Of course.
What would a normal parent say in that situation?
It could have been anything. Like, Easton, what are you doing?
Eddie. His name
Eddie.
is Eddie.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Eddie. Why did you do that? What are you thinking? We knew the rules. This is not fair. You're not being fair to the other kids. I mean, you could have just said whatever you wanted to say to belittle that child in that moment. Yeah.
Totally, dude. Give him a lecture, a scolding, a pep talk.
Yeah.
Or you could have tried a gentle parenting technique. Let's go with number 4. What might a serious gentle parenting say?
Eddie, why did you do that? You knew that was wrong. Okay, now look, your brother, your sister, and your friend are upset. Why did you do that? You heard the rules. Everyone had an agreement before we came. Why are you doing that?
And then what would Eddie do
sat
from
there
there?
and
What would Eddie do
I don't know.
from there?
Listen, I don't know. I'm just want to. I don't know. I just wanna
Exactly.
scan it. Yeah.
Exactly. You think Eddie's going to be like...
It would have taken too long.
I mean, come on. Let's be realistic. You think Eddie, whether he's 17 or 7, be like, hey, I really appreciated that speech. I'm really more aware that I hurt someone's feelings.
Right.
And I
Kenzie,
love you guys.
Kenzie, would you mind telling Eddie how you feel? How did that make you feel? I mean, you could do this whole thing. It would just take forever.
Right, and now keep in mind here, we're in the self-checkout.
Right.
So there's only 4 different booths, and we're taking up one of them.
Yeah.
And I'm just thinking to myself, is this a teaching moment? What am I going to do right now?
So what did you do? I want to hear what you did.
What I
the
did.
parenting coach.
All right. So here's what I did. And here's what I did. I said, I got to make sure I don't use their actual names because I don't have permission from the kids to use their names. I have to keep using these code names like Eddie. Okay, Eddie. Eddie, what's going on, man? You just scanned. Everybody's stuff. I thought we had a plan. And what did he do? Well, you called it. He ignored me. Right?
Yeah.
And I guess this is what he does a lot.
Okay.
And so I was then thinking, okay, am I getting my buttons pushed?
Right.
No, but I think most parents would, right? Because I do this for a living.
Because you don't want the kid to walk over you,
Yeah.
right? And just
So I'm thinking, okay, what's a cool way of handling this? I could easily call the attendant over and just rescan it, no big deal. But I was like, you know what? I'm gonna make a scene right now, like in a good way. I'm gonna really try to connect here and correct. And so I keep my cool, and I'm like, no, man, I mean, what's going on? It's your sister's birthday. You just can't hurt her doll. So what's up? And I just have a little grin on my face. Why'd you do that? Mm-hmm. I'm just trying to connect with him. This is one thing you have to remember about kids. If you can remember this fact, oh my gosh, your parenting is going to improve so much. Just because a child is physically there, it doesn't mean they're there.
Say that again. That's good.
It is
That's
good.
really good.
It is so
That's
good.
so good.
It's
That's
so
good.
good. Just because a child is there, just because a teenager is standing right in front of you, it doesn't mean they're there.
Yeah.
This kid's not here.
That is so true.
He's
That's
not
so
here.
True.
And so whenever you ask an open-ended question like, hey, what's up with you? Or how's it going? Hey, tell me about what's happening here. You're actually investigating. Is this child here or not? And the answer is normally no. Because, this is a good kid. Great family, great parents. He's just, this is what he does. He disconnects from reality on a regular basis. Does he need to get his brain checked? No. He's 9 years old, right? Your 15-year-old doesn't need to get his brain checked. He's 15. Just some kids disconnect much more, and then it's just tough. And so I said,
is it wise? Could you say in that moment, like, I'm just going to expand on this for a second. Is it good in that situation? You should be like, hey, can you look at me for a second? Like, look at me. Not like, look at me when I'm talking to you, but hey, could you look at me? Like being kind while you're asking them to make eye contact.
I will get to that part of the story next. So then what happened was I said, well, hey, what's your plan here? It looks like they wanted to scan, and we didn't scan. Notice I'm only talking for like 5 to 10 seconds at a time. My tone is very calm, and he shrugs and he looks away. So then, of course, this is so common in family dynamics. People do not want to sit in this tension. Nobody wants to be. Nobody is comfortable being uncomfortable. Now, if this was a bunch of 14-year-olds, the possibility of us being able to do this in a Target is going to go way down. These are 9-year-old kids, so they don't really care what people are thinking about them. But most teenagers, they're going to be having it. They're going to be like, please, this is so embarrassing. Please just go. These 8, 9-year-olds, I don't care. So I'm just like, and I don't care either because there's actually nobody in the line. So now we're sitting here, and it's about 2 minutes in. And I'm just asking him, what's your plan? Why do you think I asked him that? What's your plan?
I love that because you literally are putting the game that you're in right now back into his court, asking him like, hey, you just broke the rules. Yeah. So now we're playing your game. So what's your plan? We're going a new direction now. And I guess you're making the rules. So what is the plan going forward? Because you're obviously not following these rules that everybody agreed to. So what's your plan? I really like that.
And remember, it's like this. It's like, hey, so Eddie, what's your plan here, man? With a smile on my face. You can't see that through a podcast. Or was it this? Hey, all right, so what's your plan, man?
Right. No. You had the grin.
He's 9. Yeah. And so then here's what happens. People do not want to sit in this tension. So then my daughter, Kenzie, classic, here's what she said. I think he's very sorry because he's very sorry. Because he just wasn't thinking.
Because she knows.
She just doesn't. This is what people do. They don't want to sit in the tension. And so she's like, I think he's very sorry because I can just tell, like, he wasn't thinking and he just took over. And I'm like, Kenzie, this is not like, let me talk to Eddie about this. Like, I want to know what his plan is. You don't know if he's sorry or not. He hasn't said he's sorry. So I'd like to talk to him about this. And thankfully, maybe because I was setting the tone, let me rephrase that. Definitely because I was setting the tone. Everyone is calm here. Everyone's calm. Now, would everyone have been calm if this were to happen today? I don't know. I'm just saying all 3 kids, we're calm. People are walking right past us. So now the attendant comes up to us. And she says, are you guys okay? You guys need any help? So I look her right in the eye and I say, no, we're good. Thank you so much. Now it's been 3 minutes, right? Yeah. And so then I'm like,
is there any part of the story where we should have included the tenant in this situation?
She's coming. The
clerk.
Yeah. Okay. The Target's clerk's coming. So I'm like, I just want to know, like, I just like to talk with you. I'm just kind of asking you a question. Take your time. You don't have to talk with me. You don't want to. I just want to know, like, what's up? What's your plan? How are we going to get through this? Because you already scanned all 3 items, but your sister, it's her birthday. We're here for her, and she didn't get to scan. And so now he's realizing, like, I'm not getting out of this. You know what I mean? I'm standing up to a 6'2" man right now who's smiling at me, who I know loves me. He's got a nice tone, and I know this is what Sean does to me sometimes. I've done this to Eddie many times. And so he looks down. And I don't know if you can hear this. He looks down, and he says, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, what was that? I couldn't quite hear you. What?
And then guess what Kenzie said?
He said he's sorry, Dad.
And then I said, right, but I couldn't hear it. What did you say, Eddie? He said, I'm sorry. And then guess what Kenzie said? She said, you didn't make eye contact. You didn't make eye contact, Eddie.
Oh my gosh.
So, dude, this is my daughter.
Great.
I guess this is
Yeah.
the family coach's daughter. I guess I guess I should be proud of her. I don't know. Should I be proud of my daughter at this point?
Totally. Yeah, she's learning. She's learning from you, man.
I guess I didn't realize until right now. I mean, both these other two girls, they did a fantastic job. I mean, they were kind of staying cool and calm, and they trusted the process. So what is that? I think that tells you. I don't want to try to like boast here, but I think that maybe tells you something about how all three kids trust me. That I'm going to keep my cool here, and I'm not going to embarrass them. And that's why they kept their cool. Wouldn't you say, like, I don't want to overanalyze that, but don't you think that's probably going on?
I think so. And I think this is a great chance for us to overanalyze it. So, yeah, I would say that is exactly what's happening. I've also been in a similar situation that you're describing where there's 3 kids, 2 of them are siblings and 1 is not. And something happens to one of the siblings, and he does something, let's say, bad in this situation. Let's say the scanning is bad, okay?
Yeah.
He didn't follow the rules. And so the other sibling backs up the wrongdoing of their sibling. So the brother will back up what the sister did that was wrong. Or the sister will say, well, no, he didn't. And you know what the sibling did was bad. And so you're trying to correct it as a parent like you're doing. But the problem is the other sibling is saying, no, it's okay. It's no big deal. I don't care. You shouldn't make a big deal out of this. He didn't mean it, when you're trying to ultimately teach a lesson.
Right. And again, maybe we're overanalyzing everything, but people do not want to sit in the tension of being uncomfortable, especially in public places, which I don't blame them. You know what I mean? But this is where, this is where training takes place. This is discipline. Discipline means to train somebody to be a follower. And I felt like a good choice. So now, all right. So then I say to him, so what did you say? He says, I'm sorry. And I said, and he looks at me. And I'm like, well, I'm good, man. You don't need to apologize to me. I didn't want to scan anything. And I smile back to him. So see, I'm just not lowering the bar on this kid. Do not lower the bar on your children for the process of making of amends, for the process of stepping into the tension. And so then what happens is I said, well, I mean, it's your sister's birthday. Did you want to say something to her? So then he turns to her. And now, did you like the phrasing there? Did you want to say something to her? What did you think about that?
Yeah, you asked. Yeah, because you could have said, like, don't say sorry to me. Say sorry to your sister, which I've said a million times. But what Sean is saying is we shouldn't force our kids to do that. We're literally asking them to come up to the conclusion on their own.
Yes.
But guiding them in the same way.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I learned this like 18 years ago when I first started studying the art of parenting. It's not helpful to force your kids to apologize. You want to invite them to and coach them to apologize. And then you wait, even if you're waiting at the self-checkout at Target. And so he turns to his sister, Eddie, and he says in a really nice way, I'm sorry. And she lights up, dude. She lights up, and she gives him a big hug.
Oh,
it was
that's
incredible.
So sweet.
I felt like $1 million, dude. I felt so proud of him. And I felt proud of her. I felt proud of everybody. And then he looks at Kenzie, and he's like, I'm sorry too. And then here's what happens. So then I'm like, all right. So now I'm still, by asking what's your plan, what I'm also sending a message here is I'm not taking control of this situation. I'm not taking control, which is, again, what parents want to do. They want to control. You better force to apologize. Attendant, come over here. Okay, everyone scanning 20, your idea. Everyone gets to scan 25 items, right? No, I'm not. No, like, you did this. You created this drama, so we're going to sit here and we're going to freaking solve it. Now, again, I already said it before. If you've got 15-year-olds, they're probably not going to be down to do this in a public setting. So you'd have to then figure out a way to go into the car and then don't drive home until you figure this out, right? Yeah. And so then what
because I could totally see them saying, like, what do you mean what the plan is? Go pay for it. You'd be like, it's like,
so then
you want me to pay for it?
So then I look at Eddie and I said, all right, so that was really nice. That was really nice. So now what should we do? Again, sitting in the tension. So now we've been here, just so you know, timeline. I don't know exactly. It's kind of bad with time. We're probably in line for 12 minutes, dude. 12 minutes.
That's a long time. Are you sure? That's a long time.
I'm not sure because I'm really bad with time. But remember like 2 or 3 episodes ago, we talked about that awesome story from that El Dorado Hills, California dad named John who was out there in front of like Subway for 15 minutes. And this is like where a lot of good parents, you just have to be patient. Be patient to let your kids meet that bar. Be patient. So you're
sitting there in the checkout.
And then I don't remember which kid it was, whether it was Eddie or it was Kenzie. We said, well, we could call the attendant over and reset it. So that's what we did. We came over, she reset it, and then this is what happened. Kenzie let Isla go first. She scanned her American Girl doll. Kenzie scanned something, and then she handed it to Easton, and Easton said, it's okay. I'm okay. You guys can scan.
That's sweet. So then
nice?
He gave his that's okay. And so to wrap a bow on this.
Yeah.
When you went back home, the other parents and your wife were like, "Tell us what happened." What was their reaction like after you told them all this?
Well, first off, I didn't want to bother the parents because I didn't want to be like, so Eddie acted out again. I didn't want to, you know what I mean? I didn't want to burden them. My wife was just like really curious to see how I handle it because I think she has a sensitivity when I parent other people's children. If you remember
totally.
Remember if you want a good laugh about how I make mistakes parenting other people's children, go back to like maybe like 15 episodes ago.
It
Sean
was the
goes
camping
camping
episodes.
Camping.
Yes. You have to listen.
Sean goes
to
camping
that
with 7 other families, and I parented other people's children. I made a couple mistakes.
Oh,
So she
that was
But
hilarious.
no, they were all very grateful, and they liked the story. And I was like, all right, I'll tell them on a podcast.
So, you know what's interesting and timely about all this is my wife and I just started a small group with other parents who have kids with disabilities for the church we're at. And it's been great. Now, we're kind of at that point where like, should we be in this? Should we not? Like, we don't know if we fit. We could tell that the parents in there really need it, and we're not so much there yet. We're wondering at time. But we went to the second meeting, and it couldn't have been a better time for us to go back because I'm like, man, I think we really need to be there for everybody else because like they are having a very hard time, and we are so blessed with Kinlan compared to what can happen. But anyway, what we're learning is in these situations where these kids have tantrums, and you can correct me because you know all the backstory of all this, but it's what's that term you say when we freak out? It's fight, flight, or fright. What's the terminology?
Well, it's a well-known thing in psychology. It's a trauma response, whether you're in the battlefield of a war, of World War II, or you're in the target aisles. Fight, flight, or freeze, or there's a fourth one now, fawn. Fight, flight, freeze, fawn. Please continue.
Okay, so what they were saying is with a lot of these kids, in this small group we're in, a lot of them have autism, and they're on different levels, and they'll do hardcore temper tantrums, thinking about like just sprawling out on the floor at Target and screaming at the top of their lungs. And they were saying what's interesting is you're trying to get that freeze or that fight or that fight and transition it to the front part of their brain where they could actually think about what they want to do. Because right now they're just in a moment of chaos. And so like what you did is you took this moment and said, okay, now let's think about what your actions have done and what the game plan is going forward. So I always say like, we got to distract. We have to distract. We have to cause a distraction to stop them in that moment of freaking out. And that way it'll calm down. But ultimately what we're trying to do is get them to transition their thinking process into something that's a little bit more forward thinking. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well said.
So some of these, different examples were interesting. One dad was like, if Johnny were to have a meltdown at the store because he couldn't buy this bubble gum, I would have a meltdown at the store as the adult and go bigger than him to cause such a scene that he would stop and say, this is embarrassing me now. And I was like, that's interesting. Another family said they're having a situation where their kids are going through these temper tantrums, and let's say they're at a family get-together and they're at the grandparents' house watching football, and the kid is freaking out in the living room. And the parents have decided we have to let them get through these episodes on their own, so we're just going to ignore it. Meanwhile, the other parents, it's super awkward because it's like, as a parenting tactic, this can be so weird because what you did was great. A lot of people don't have those skills to do that. And so I think all the stuff where other parents are trying is literally just kind of like, let's give it a go and see what happens. If they're going to freak out, let's give them 20 minutes and they can just freak out and then eventually they'll calm down.
Yeah.
But I think what you're trying to do is have it stop faster, right? Have that freak out moment or that tantrum and ASAP so that they can start using their prefrontal cortex into thinking about their actions going forward.
Gosh, really well said. Really well said. Thanks for telling that story. Yeah, I mean, I don't have a special needs child or a neurodivergent child, but it's got to be so hard for some of your friends and the people in this small group. They're coming to the group, they're looking from support because it sounds like their children, I'm guessing, are probably having regular meltdowns in public. Is that what it is?
Yeah, and I think a lot of them don't have the mindset like little Eddie does, right? Can't think about some of these things in that moment. So it's a lot harder for them to figure out how to either mask it or ignore it or I don't know. It's got to be so tough. But the interesting thing is all these situations you brought up happen with so many different families with so many different backgrounds.
Let me, I've got a bunch of tools that I want to share. I'd love to get your opinion on some of these on some of these tools. May I?
Yes, please. We all could use some help.
Okay. The first one is this. Let's start with this one. Everyone take a deep breath and just say this to yourself. I cannot control this child, but I can control myself.
Oh, that's good.
Say this.
I can't control my child.
Do you remember?
But I can control myself.
Do you remember like 3 months ago, I told this story of how I went to bring our Chevy Suburban into the Chevy dealership, and I came up on the parking lot, and 2 men were about to fist fight with each other. Do you remember I told you that story?
No, I don't think I've ever heard this story.
You've never
heard this story. No.
Oh my gosh.
This is crazy.
Dude, it's crazy story. Crazy story. Okay, I really got to tell this story in more detail, but here's what happened. I Ubered there because my car was in the shop. I'm going to tell the longer story at a different time, but here's the short version. I got out of this Uber, and I see these 2 guys like cussing each other, and they got their dukes up. One was like a 6'2" man, and the other one's like a 5'2" man, stocky, short, and he was like in this like kung fu stance, and he was like pursuing the bigger guy, and he was saying, "You don't know me, man. Like, how dare you? Let's go right now. Let's go. Come on." And it was scary.
Okay.
So there was a Chevy. There was 2 Chevy employees that were there, and they were trying to connect with the shorter guy who was clearly very livid, and they were not doing a good job. And so I thought to myself, is this such a time for me? Can I help out here? I said a little prayer. I put my little bag down, and I walked up right into the guys. And I'm thinking to myself, you know what? I got this. I can probably do this better than the Chevy guys. And also trying to have compassion, because when you work at a place of there's so many rules. You don't want to get sued. You don't want to get fired. So I'm thinking I'm going to try to help everyone out here, because the Chevy guys, they're like Chevy car salesmen. That's like what it was. They they don't have training for this. I do this.
Right.
I got this. So long story short, I won't tell the long version now, but it went very well. The smaller guy, not young, there was clearly like a road rage incident. And he was talking about how he wanted to fight and kill the bigger guy. And you look up at his car, and he clearly had followed the guy into the Chevy dealership. And he had his wife and some children in the car watching all this.
Oh, my gosh.
And I stood between the 2 guys. Sure, scared. Was I going to get hit? Sure, a little bit. I was scared. But the guy had a Wounded Warrior T-shirt on.
The smaller guy?
Yeah.
Oh.
And if you when somebody's physically there, but they're just not there.
Yeah.
Remember I was just talking about that?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. I mean, this guy had a glaze over his eyes. He was refusing to make eye contact with me. And I used all the same tools that I teach here. Oh, I can see you're really upset. I hate it when people cut me off. Oh, yeah, he disrespected you? Oh, he said racist stuff to you? Oh, my gosh, that is not okay. You must be really upset. You should never say racist stuff. I'm trying to connect with this guy, and he's not having it, man. He's like, he's trying to do the kung fu stance. He was ready to go. Well, the bigger guy was afraid, and he kept backing up.
Yeah.
And then
I
finally,
can't believe you did this, by the way. This is the first time I'm hearing about it. This is good. Keep going.
And then finally, I was able to get a little bit of eye contact. Say, hey, man, my name's Sean. You can't be doing this here in Chevy. You can't. I know you're upset. We can't. I know you're pissed. These are just Chevy workers. These are guys that have to go back to work. We're on camera right now. You got your family here. We got to be calm. Like, I know you've been through a lot. I know you're really pissed. This is not the time and the place, man. We got to calm down. We got to get through this. I'm just using these diffusing techniques. You know what I mean? Like we talk about.
And it worked. And
it
worked.
worked.
It worked. Oh my gosh, dude.
It worked.
You were so bold. You're so bold. That's
it was
amazing.
scary and crazy.
I bet.
It worked. And I mean, this is the short version. He got in his car and here's what happened. Right when I get the guy diffused, here's what happened. My gosh, this woman comes out.
Of where?
Of the
car?
Chevy dealership.
Or the Chevy dealership. Okay. Oh no, causes a scene.
Here's what she says. She works for Chevy.
Yeah.
And she's like, excuse me, you can't be doing this. You're acting crazy. You can't be doing this. You're on camera. You're acting crazy. This is not okay. We can't have crazy people here. And guess what happened? He goes from like, he was at a 10. I had him down to like a 6. And he goes right back to a 10.
Oh, no. You're like, thanks, Karen. Get back inside.
I'm like, what are you, gosh.
Yeah.
And so it took me some more minutes. Then he drove away, and then I turned to the main Chevy guy who was actually like there before I was, and I just shook his hand. I said, everybody right here, this guy right here, employee of the month. So brave of him. Like, so brave. You know what I mean? That he was stepping in there while he's working. I shook his hand, and then I
said, yo, I'm going to get a 10% discount on that work, right? Thanks so much. See you later. Thanks, bro. Bruh.
Right,
dude,
so
that's crazy. That's good to know, though. It works at all age levels. It worked on a 9-year-old, and it worked on an adult.
You cannot control this child, but you can't control yourself. And your children, they're such a blessing. Your hard children, your neurodivergent children, they're helping you to become a more loving person, a more caring person, a more heroic person, a more responsive person. Like, they are your teachers. And so I think that's a great way of looking at these challenging situations. What do you think about that?
I think that's great. I just got to figure out how to get that to click into my mind in the moment of these teaching situations.
Yeah.
And you know what? It can happen. It just takes practice. Like, literally, the main thing that I've learned from you is taking a beat, right? Take a second. And in that second, before I react to whatever it is, I can try and process and remember any of the stuff that you've taught us.
Action step number 3. Think about the physical location where you're around. I said this 3 times now. I do not think teenagers would have handled that situation in Target as the same way.
Right.
What we would have done there is we should have just paid and said, okay, how about we just pay and we'll talk about this afterwards? Yes, Dad. Yes.
Yeah.
And then you have to go and you have to deal with it. Remember, teaching moments do not happen in the moment. And just because a child is physically there, it doesn't mean he or she is actually there. The reason why I did that is because this kid, Eddie, he actually showed us all like, okay, I'll show up. I'll show up. What do you think about that?
I think it did work. My question to you is, if it didn't, would you have just paid and continue the conversation later?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, teaching moments don't happen in the moment, and he wasn't ready, and then he was ready, and we did it.
Right.
How about this?
That was cool that he's willing. Because I could imagine many people get in a situation where the kids aren't willing, like you said, and you'd have to do it later again. Yeah.
Like, here's a mistake that I learned. One time, my oldest daughter, she's 20 now, so it was a long time ago. She was acting out horribly in the Toyota Sienna, and I was getting pissed. So pissed. I mean, when an older sibling bullies or bothers a younger sibling, and then you do that in a car, dude, you're just hitting my buttons.
Okay.
So I thought it was a good idea at the time. So I pull over on the freeway and I exit and I go to the local Chevron. And I don't pull into the Chevron. It's a nice, beautiful Northern California afternoon. I pull on the curb outside the Chevron. And the Sienna has automatic doors. So I hit the button and I say in a nice, calm way, I say, Maddie, go sit on that curb. I need you out of this car right now. I need you to calm down.
Yes. That's exactly what I would have done.
How do you think my wife and my daughter handled this situation?
Sean, you can't. No, what are you doing? Get back in the car. Maddie, stay there. Sean, get in the car. We'll talk about this later.
Dude, such a bad choice, dude. I don't think I'll make a family coach video on Instagram about that. Dude, it was
I want to see what would have happened in this situation. I've been in that exact same position. Get out of the car. Get out of the car right now. Well, how am I supposed? I don't care. I'm leaving. Get out of the car. I would have driven away, and then I would have came back.
Thank God for wives.
Hashtag praise the Lord.
Hashtag we all need spouses. We all need co-parents for moments like this.
That's so good.
To get our heads on straight. Anyways, they told me that was totally inappropriate, extremely wrong, almost child abuse. And I'm sitting here like, what are you talking about, man? It's not a big deal. We're in Vacaville, California. It's a nice place. Just get out of the freaking car. Right. So then I realized I cannot control this child or this woman named Danielle, but I can control myself. So then I said to them, okay, I'm going to get out and I'm going to walk around. And then it happened again 4 days later. And I said, guys, Maddie, if you can't calm down right now, I'm going to have to pull the car over and walk around. And she didn't calm down. So this is what I did. I pulled the car over, and the wife was in the car, and I walked around for like a long time. 15 minutes, 20 minutes. I walked around that parking lot. That's a long time. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. Dad, can you get back in the car? Are you done yet? What are you doing?
I was so heated. I was so pissed off. Why do you think I walked around? Do you think that was a good choice? And what type of impact do you think that had on my children?
First off, I think you walked around primarily for yourself to stay cool, right? But it has secondary impacts. I think it shows them that you're a human. You were bothered by the incident. Mm-hmm. You're doing everything in your power not to yell at them. Yeah. Hopefully you have a child that could realize this, because if they're like, gosh, Dad, he's such an idiot. What's he doing? Like if they added salt and poured salt on your wound, you would have been that much more upset.
Right, yeah. Yeah, well said.
I mean, I think ultimately, hopefully it helped out.
Thank you. It did. And then what happened was it happened again like 4 days later. And I said very calmly, hey, guys, if you guys can't calm down, I'm going to have to pull this car over. And guess what happened? Something good. They calmed down. And I said, no, we're good, Dad. Keep going. Right?
That's good.
Why do you think they said that?
Because they don't want you to pull over. They know you'll sit out there for 15 minutes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. They want to get to their soccer match. They want to get to the birthday party. They want to get to wherever you're going. They want to get home.
I think that just to kind of come to the last few minutes of our show, like I hope you're hearing a theme here about how to handle these meltdowns, about how there's a time and a place for everything, about how to gauge if your child is really ready for that. We do a lot of teaching about diffusing skills like reflection, mirroring, validation, good communication skills to diffuse a child. We're not going to concentrate on those today. But do you agree that with kids and teenagers, do you agree with this sentence? The teaching moments, they just don't happen in the moment.
I would say I mostly agree. I think you did a great job at Target teaching them in that moment. Oh, yeah. You know, I think sometimes it could definitely work.
Give me a tip. What do I do the next time I go to
when you pulled over, you were kind of teaching in the moment. I mean, you didn't actually teach, but you showed that there's a reaction to their actions.
That's true. Give me advice on two things, okay? What do I do if I go to a pool party and my kid won't get out of the pool and he or she is totally embarrassing me in front of everyone? What do you do in that situation?
You start taking off your clothes and getting into your board shorts and show them that you're about to jump in that pool and wrestle them out.
Dude, one of my buddies did that with his daughter, and she wasn't having it, dude. She was wrestling him back. So embarrassing for the dad.
Really?
It was awkward.
Dang.
I have no
is
judgment.
awkward.
He's a great dad. No judgment.
Yeah,
I just felt disappointed the girl would do that, do his dad dirty like that.
Yeah, that's
Like
messed up.
running away from him, and he's like literally getting physical with her. I pulled him to the side. I gave him a couple of pep talks, and I went right at that girl, man. I went right at her. This is my house. And I didn't say that, but I was like, girl,
Right.
you have to listen to your dad. This is where we need each other in that.
Yeah.
You have to listen to your dad. This is not okay. Your dad asked you to
Right.
get out of this pool 5 times. This is
Yeah.
my house, and I like you here. I'm glad you're here. I'm happy you're having a good time. But your dad is my friend, and I need you to please get out of this pool and listen to your dad. Kids are supposed to listen to your parents. I mean, that's what I said to her, and she listened.
Good. Another option is to be like, listen, if you don't get out in 30 seconds, I'm leaving you here. And you can find your way home. And you can find your way up. You can walk home.
Dude, every parent has said that, and how
We've
many
all
parents
said
have
that.
actually carried through that 0.000%?
Yeah. And then the other option would be whatever you're going to tell us to do.
I got something that I think is very normal to say, but it's kind of controversial and touchy. And I want to say
But it works.
I think it's extremely healthy, but I need to say it.
Okay.
And I'd love to get your feedback on it. Okay? Okay. Here we go. I say this a lot. I just don't normally say this stuff on podcasts. I say this to my clients. So, Jordan, I have a lot of people in my VIP membership who have neurodivergent children. It's mostly ADD or ADHD, but we have some ODD. We have some high-functioning autism, and we have, other like prefrontal cortex issues. So I'm a professional. I know, like, this isn't just me making this up. This is 20 years of hands-on.
It's
Okay.
worked. I get it.
That's
okay.
all right, thank you. I feel like I had to say that in
No,
my defense.
It works.
But here is a couple things. First controversial thing I want to say. One of the big problems with parenting today and parenting a neurodivergent child is that so many of the experts, they tell you to lower the bar on this child.
That's true.
They say, like, you know what? The child can't stop themselves inside a Target.
Yeah.
Or the child doesn't have the ability
Right.
to make amends and to care for someone's feelings. And I just think that's ridiculous.
I agree.
think it's wrong. What's your
I
take
try
on that?
I try to raise the bar so that let's say they're not going to hit the bar. If the bar is higher, then they will get to a better place than whether you lower the bar. If you lower the bar, it's just going to make it to where it's easier.
Right.
We were just talking about that over the weekend. Like some, teachers at school will do things with kids who have a disability and be like, well, and the kids know they can get away with it.
Yes.
That's the thing. They're like, oh, well, I couldn't stand up for 30 seconds because of my back issues, so I had the teacher do X, Y, or Z. And the parents are like, what are you talking about? They were up for 5 minutes yesterday and they were fine. Like, you could push them. Yeah, keep going.
More on that point. It's just, this is a genuine thing where parents have lowered the bar on their challenging children or on their ADHD child.
Yeah.
And it's causing so many problems. It's creating more disobedience and defiance and lack of integrity from that child. 2, it's causing resentment because the siblings look at how the parent has lowered the bar on that one sibling, and you're like, you let that kid get away with everything, and I resent you and him for that.
Yeah, that's a good point. And I mean, when you say it, I've talked about this all the time. I didn't realize this was controversial. This just makes sense
It's
to me.
controversial.
That's crazy because we should all have, I wouldn't say the same playing field or the same bar, but we all want great expectations for all our kids, no matter what the background is.
I know this is a thing because people, tell me it, but also people will blow up my comments on my social media videos. Like they'll say, my ADHD son would never talk that way. Or I could never get my ADD daughter to say that stuff. I was like, you just lowered the bar. Here's like
Yes, you did.
Here's an example. Like all of my kids have struggled with math. And my middle child is 16 right now, and was really below math. So we spent time on getting them tutors and getting them extra support because their brain wasn't as gifted around math.
Okay.
But should I have said when they started getting stumped with their times tables when they were in the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th grade, still struggling with times table, Should I just say, you know what, my kid's brain isn't really wired for math. Whatever.
Yeah.
They're never going to learn the times tables.
Didn't it just happen across the nation recently where they were just giving out degrees of people who are failing all the time? You're like, are you freaking kidding me right now? Like, we're literally making ourselves dumber.
I think it's happening in Oregon. Oregon is actually moving to that like next year or something, but please continue.
Oh my gosh. No, we need to do what you're saying. And if this is the bar, you can do it. Everybody before you did it, it might take you a little bit more to do it, but you can do it. Your mind is set up to do it.
Let me say the same thing you said in a different way. It might take longer for your 6-year-old child to learn these skills. It might take this Eddie more time and attention than it would his own sister, but spend the time. Invest in nurturing these skills in your children. Do not lower the bar.
And can I ask you, with some of the kids that you've worked with who have these,
Challenges.
Challenges or hurdles. I'm trying to figure out what adjective to use.
Yep.
When the parents come to you and say, "Oh, they're not able to do this," do you prove them wrong?
Oh, 100% of the time.
I would anticipate that's
wrong.
true, but I was curious.
It's constant. It's a constant thing in my VIP membership where someone will come in and they'll say, "Well, why hasn't your child? Why does like yesterday? I said to this great dad, big CEO, has a lot of employees, and his son treats him like crap." And they said, "Well, why does your son act this way towards you?" And he said, "Well, it's his prefrontal cortex."
Right.
I said, "Well, no, it's not. He's 11. Like, he can treat you well. Did you think it has anything to do with your parenting, maybe? Or how you're maybe struggling to guide him to treat you better?" He said, yeah. So, I mean, that's just a conversation. It's just, don't lower the bar on your children, and don't make excuses for their bad behavior, their selfishness, their acting out in a Target or in a car or hitting someone, or just being that kid, who is like, yep, that's that kid. Make one of the things, if you want more on this episode, then what you could do is you can go to some of our future, some of our past podcasts. We've done podcasts on heart talks, on diffusing, or on making of amends, if you want something else deeper. Also, if you do enjoy our podcast, thank you so much. But do Jordan and I a favor. Go on the app of Apple Podcasts, and please leave us a 5-star review. Leave us a couple kind words. This is a free podcast. We do it for you, but that's a great way for you to give back to us and show us your appreciation. If you do enjoy us, we appreciate you so much. Jordan, we did it, man.
Guys. This was good, man. This storytelling was amazing. I love these story times with Sean. They're all so good, and I want more in-depth on that fighting situation that happened. We got to get into that later.
Stay strong, be close, and teach wisdom. We'll see you guys next time. Much love.